I'd like to give a shout out to the newest member of the Comment Club. If you want to join the Comment Club, make sure you leave a comment below. What is going on, guys? This is TheCrayonsMelt here, and today we've got a special guest. We're going to be doing, I'm going to call this Auction House Working 101. I don't know if that's the best name for it, but that's what I'm going to call it. So today I have, what's your... I know you by a couple different names, so it's MUT Snipes All Day.
Yeah, that's my YouTube and Twitter.
That's YouTube and Twitter.
Yep.
And then on Reddit, you're
Ashman23.
Okay, I wanted to make sure before I went out and said it. But okay, so
Yep.
Guys, check it. He's got a great podcast where he does, I think you do it weekly now, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to do it every Monday before Team of the Week drops.
Okay, very cool. So you have a podcast where you talk about different things in the auction house that are relevant for making coins. And then you have the auction house guide on Reddit. A link for that, both for your channel and for the Reddit guide, are in the description down below, guys. Go check it out. You can learn a lot of useful information to be able to make a lot of coins. Really quick, all right. How many coins do you think you've made this year from doing your auction house flips and things like that?
Dude, I can't even tell you. I can tell you one thing. I've pulled about 300 or 400K in pro packs just for fun. And I'm still at 1.76.
Okay, that's a lot more than I have. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot more than I have.
But I started flipping. I talked about this before, but I started flipping shortly. I was still doing the Ultimate Team solo, so I think I only had like 268,000 coins or something like that. That's when I started just like hardcore going into it and getting stuff done.
Okay, and you've done this last year.
Yeah, the last 3 years.
Okay, I remember being in your streams. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and you were just like working the auction house the whole time. And I'm like, man, I wish I could be this dedicated to making some coins on the auction house. So you definitely have experience. You know what you're talking about. So guys, a lot of useful information is going to come your way. This is going to be more of a basic beginner. If you guys want more information, again, the podcasts are great for that. And then maybe in the future, if this video goes well, we might do a second episode. I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet, but it would be cool. As long as he doesn't make fun of my voice the whole time, we're good.
Yeah, no.
Anyways.
I'll hold
off. All right. So first I want to start off. I see it all over Mutthead, over Twitter. The difference between flipping and sniping. Do you want to do like a brief description of both?
Yeah, I mean, sniping is a buy on a card, and most of the time, I say most of the time because it does occasionally happen where things go kooky, but it's when a buy it now is really, really low. So, right. You get your Julio Jones for 80K. I think currently he's sitting at like at 135. So yeah, 80K for a card still seems really expensive, but it's still a snipe.
Right.
And those types of cards will not sit up there for very long. Whereas a flip is just a solid, because you got to take the 10% EA tax. So if you got Julio Jones and you could buy him for, we'll say, 115. If you sell him at 130, you made a solid 10K. Like whatever the math.
Right.
But there's a difference, and people do get those confused. A true snipe shouldn't stay on the auction house for more than 10 seconds. Flips can be up there for 30 minutes.
Right.
It's all dependent on the auction house traffic, what time of day. A lot of things come into play there. But yeah, I believe Crayons that's like the number one and two most like misused, other than nanos and equalizer.
Yeah. Oh, the equalizer.
In MUT.
You gotta love it. Okay, good. I like those. Very good definitions. So, guys, now you know what flipping versus sniping is. So one of the things you've talked about in your podcast, I don't want to like steal your whole podcast. Definitely, guys, go check it. It's a lot of good information. Anyways, so you talk a lot about bundles and the way you can use those to make some coins. So could you maybe suggest some things that people could do with bundles?
Yeah, well, the main thing for me, and it should be for everybody going into the week, anytime new content comes out. So BCA is a good example of this. But more so, BCA is tough because people know, even if it's a normal silver or gold card, it's got the BCA logo on it, so people, quote unquote, know it's special. But every week when Team of the Week drops on Monday, like John Kuhn will use this pretty example. I sniped the crap out of John Kuhn. I'm gonna try to be PC here because you got younger viewers.
It's all good.
But John Kuhn, I was buying at like 3 and 4K. The day after he came out, I made precisely 180 to 220K just flipping John Kuhn's. That's it. That's all I did.
Do you think it was the whole Team of the Week part of him, or was it the position?
It was a mixture of both, because,
okay.
And that's where, I know guys like CM Dog and other people will talk about investing, but like with these Team of the Week packs out, see, Team of the Week changed it. I never got a chance to talk about this on my podcast, so this is the perfect time. Team of the Week changed this year to last year. Mm-hmm. Last year, once those cards, or once that week, so week 4 was over, week 5 started, week 4 was taking out of packs.
Right.
This year, though, with these Team of the Week packs, they're including, at least in the bundle, they're including partial with a current week and a previous week. So,
right.
Finding some of these cards in the past was easier to like hold on to and say, if you hold on to John Kuhn for 3 weeks, if somebody just needs John Kuhn to complete, I forget what set he's in.
I think he was in last week's, whatever.
Whoever it was. I
don't remember.
At the time. Oh, Jimmy Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Graham set. Regardless, you could hold on to it for a couple of weeks, and its price would skyrocket due to the fact that they weren't in packs. Well, now, I digress. My point of this is, on Monday, nobody knows what an 81 gold fullback should be priced. The market hasn't been set on these cards, and that's why new content is extremely important for us auction house, no money spent guys to make coin. After the Team of the Week packs left, so this would have been Thursday or Friday, John Kuhn went from I made coin on him, but I could have held on to him and made more. He went up from the 6.5 to 7K he was selling for, up to 13.5.
Oh wow!
So John Kuhn, I actually just picked up a couple yesterday and this morning at 6.5K. I'm expecting to double my money on it.
Just by flipping it, just by selling it, or by holding on to it?
Well, holding, you gotta wait for these Team of the Week packs to go.
Okay,
that's the key thing. It's buying when the bundles or topper or whatever are out, and waiting until that influx is no longer there. The last 2 weeks, EA has held true to Team of the Week packs on Monday, get everybody hyped up and all that good stuff. But come Thursday or Friday, there's not going to be as much out in the market.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, that's good news for me because I just pulled a John Kuhn card today. So I'm going to hold on for, Wednesday, Thursday maybe, and then try to sell them. Are all Team of the Weeks like that?
No, and that's the thing.
No?
If you look at some of them, as we get further away from whatever week they came out, there's less of a need for them. But I think John Kuhn is a special situation, because he's an 81 fullback with power run count. And if you look at
I think there's only 1 or 2 of those.
If you look at the power run, actually, I'm on my Xbox right now. I'm going to pull it up real quick. I don't think there's very many of them.
I think it's Fowler and then a team hero this week or this month, and then last month's team hero. But I think other than that, there aren't any.
Yeah, I'm not 100. Like I said, my Xbox is going really slow right now for some reason. For fullback, you have at least on the auction house, 79 Sherman, Kuhn, and Fowler.
Okay.
That's it for power run. So you've got a card that at its position, if people are going for the tier 1 or tier 2 power run, it's a very viable card for 8, 10K. I mean, like I said, people are going to have no problem paying 13, 14K from it when it's out of packs.
Especially if they need it to do the set.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I don't want to, ruin your if you have like something planned this week that you think a card is going to take off in price, but do you have someone this week you think that might happen to?
I've been looking in the cards. Team of the week got me super hyped because obviously they released my boy Big Play Saleh. Sorry, crayons. But looking at the rest of the cards in the set, the elite cards that is for the David Johnson, and Slay. The Amari Cooper is okay. I mean, in the past, the only one I think that I could see potential after these packs are gone, honestly, is Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
And I know you have a love for Mariota.
Yeah, a little bit. I like him.
You got the man crush on Mariota. But, like, Beasley's an okay left end. Willie Young's a horrible right-side linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see... And I would be more intrigued by Cooper for investment-wise if it wasn't for the fact that we have so many deep threat receivers already.
Right.
Like, there's a lot. I mean, if you did any of these solos, you got... I mean, Mike Evans is an 85 for free. I mean... If you're not going to do the David Johnson set and you're looking for these guys as playmakers on your team, I don't see the advantage of having them paying 70K for one, I guess, at this point.
That makes sense. Okay. One question I have, one card that I really like for Team of the Week this week, a gold 81 overall, Tevin Coleman. To me, he looks like a card that a lot of people could use on their team right now. 4.9K. Could that be a card for people to, if they see it for like 3 or low 4K, to buy and possibly sell to make a little bit of coin, especially once these Team of the Week packs are out of here?
For multiple reasons. Like you said, in your video, I think you put it up yesterday. It's a card that's usable. Like, I compared him just out of fun. Yeah, I can't get rid of him, by the way. I'll be honest. To Derrick Henry,
I love that card.
That card is a beast, man. But if you're looking at it from if you're not a, we'll say, Titans fan or a Derrick Henry fan, if you look at that Tevin Coleman card though, and you can buy him even at 5K. And you can sell your Henry. I think that Henry, when packs are out, not in circulation, I think Henry's been rolling around 24 to 28K.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you say you can buy one for 5 and stash that remaining, 20,000 coins, okay, sign me up.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Are there any other big, maybe things to look out for when bundles do drop? I know you mentioned game changer bundles. They have silver or gold badges, right? I think it's gold badges, and so that's the best time to buy gold badges is when they're in the bundle.
Right.
Is there any other things like that in bundles?
Well, to me, my biggest thing is actually what's not in the bundle.
Okay.
That's going to sound really funny, but I get asked this question a lot. Actually, yesterday, somebody's like, well, why isn't there any gold or not gold, bronze or silver cards on the market? Well, if you look at some of these promo packs, it's not what you're going to get in the pack. It's what's not in the pack anymore. Because, 3 gold or better. Well, at that point, it means they pulled a bronze or 2 silvers out. So if you've got bronzes when those packs are out in your binder, it's a heck of a time to sell.
Right.
Because I used this example the other day. I don't know if I said it in my podcast or not. But like you guys, like you or Sly or Gut Fox, these YouTubers that I watch daily almost. You might pay $50 for a Team of the Week bundle, but the average MUT player is going to buy the $20 Pro Pack bundle. So those golds or those silvers and bronzes are less likely to be on the market, but people are still opening the packs that have them in them. But a lot of people don't know the value of these cards, and that's something that has adjusted month by month based on the team heroes, which we can cover a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, well, before we move on to that, one thing like I've always emphasized when I open packs, people are like, you open pro packs in your videos, open bundles, but I know you don't spend any money, or you like very little money, right?
I have spent $0, including the price of the
$0, and you have about double the coins that I've had after or before I bought a bunch of players. So, which is insane. So for people who are going to spend a little bit, for packs, the best thing to do is buy pro packs.
Yeah.
They give you a guaranteed gold or better. You can still pull an elite out of a pro pack. Just because it's not a super crazy pack doesn't mean you can't get a good pull in it. And then also you get 3 bronze players, 3 silver players, and 2 team items and a MUT tip. So you're going to be able to make more coin off of that one pack than you will be able to.
Yeah, if you're talking,
the same amount.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you should never be buying promo packs with coins. I'm very firm on that.
Yeah,
like very firm. Like you should never pay 8,000 coins for a legend pack because you're never. Well, not never. Probably not going to get your.
Very rarely.
Anyways, coins per pro pack. If you sell everything and you get lucky and you get 1 or 2 decent silver and bronze cards. I mean, I pulled a pro pack the other day and I sold like 9,800 out of it. Like that's what I made on the pack I pulled. So I pulled a Jaguars bronze, a Lions bronze. What was the other one? Shit. Cardinal silver and a Ram silver out of the same pack.
So that's a pretty decent pack right
there. Yeah, but people don't look at it that way, and that's what me and you were talking about before we started recording. It's like people don't realize what they have, and that's why. And I'm not saying it's not possible, but like I'm not gonna say anti, but I'm anti-sniping the elite market at this point because everybody wants to snipe the elite market,
right?
And now, and I know you're a big fan of this crayons, this new pack opening animation. Like once you scroll over that elite, like you know it's something. Like,
right.
You know right away. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you're opening a pack, and like I said, I bought a John Kuhn last week for 900 coins. Like it's an 81 fullback. Who cares? Discard. Like if MUT had a discard button, people would use it.
Oh yeah, and I've seen videos of people doing pack openings where they're quick selling as they go through the pack.
Yeah.
On bronze and silver cards that some of them are selling for as high as 3,000 or 4,000 coins.
Yeah, no, and that's stupid. And I'm very firm on this too at this point in MUT. And I'm starting to get a little less firm on this, but you should be selling everything at this point if you're pulling packs with cash.
Right.
I firmly believe that if you're spending $30-$40 on a bundle, you should be selling anything you get out of that. I don't care how much you love Julio Jones. Sell that shit now, because in a matter of a half a month, less than that now with most year coming, like we're probably a week away from most year, week and a half maybe. We're gonna see some 89, 90 stud wide receivers that are going to blow these other ones out of the water.
Definitely.
And going on that topic, you can already see the influence of these team heroes on some of these cards. Like Pernell McPhee, pre this month's Team Hero was going for like 14, 15K. I think you can get McPhee now for 9.5. Something like that.
Okay.
So there's, this new content directly influences the rest of the stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I've always been big on if you pull something now, sell it as fast as you can, and usually by the end of the day you can buy it for about half the price. Especially if it just came out. If you pull something first day, you're going to be able to sell it and make a lot more. You could go back and buy it, 2 of them later on for what you made off.
Yeah, I mean, and a prime example of this, and then we're talking ridiculous odds. But if you look at the sale price of the 20 or 48-hour Tom Brady,
oh my goodness,
on X1, I think the first 2 or 3 that came out were at. I saw one sell in front of my eyes at 880,
which is insane.
And I'm not at all saying that was like you should never play that price for a card at this point in month. As we're talking, it's got a bronze Eagles for 900 coins. Anyways.
There you go.
And then if you look at like later on in the night, I think the cheapest one that sold was around 710. Something.
Okay.
Like that. So I mean, yeah, it's not a whole, but so you're not always talking about being able to buy back with ridiculous profit, but some of these cards you can easily get. Like I said, Team of the Week elites. I overpaid for Darius Slay.
Mm-hmm.
Fact. But most of these cards, when you're at 1.8, it doesn't really matter. Like,
right.
I wasn't trying to save a buck to if I waited till Saturday, I could have got Slay for cheaper. Meh.
Right.
Whatever.
For sure.
Well,
and I did the same thing actually with Eric Berry, and I was watching his price for a little bit. He was up for around 245. He drifted down to, or no, it was 145. He drifted down to 126. And I was like, okay, 126 for a solid starting free safety who is probably going to go up in a little bit. So I went ahead and bought him.
Right.
And for a while, his price instantly went up to like 175. And so I could have sold him and made profit right there. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait. I think it's going to go up even more. I was wrong. People started pulling the crap out of some packs and, doing the Elite Exchange set for BCA. And so his price, I think it's down to like 100K.
It's at 82 as
maybe even
morning.
less. Yeah. So, but I mean, Eric Berry is one of the great safeties in the game. And I like Eric Berry cards. They're always good cards. They always play, to my play style. So I went ahead and bought it, even though I knew it could bite me in the butt.
Right.
So I think you always have to take that into consideration when you do buy cards for big amounts like that.
Definitely. But, like you said, I've had the argument. People, because I try to tell people, like, hold off until you see what's coming out. Like I say, don't buy a Legend on a Thursday or Friday night. That's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
Period. And it's like, people are like, well, if you have these coins, what's the point in playing the game? I'm not trying to tell you not to buy these cards. I'm just telling you, buy them when it makes the most sense.
Right.
Like Eric
and
Berry,
especially
Eric Berry, like you said, who knows? Like that card right now, solid. If it wasn't for me having signature Glover Quinn, I would probably roll up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So, and that's a very good point about, holding on and just waiting. Especially, the BCA offense is coming up. Do not buy an offensive player this week.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
If you buy an offensive player this week, Saturday when his value, or what day did they come out? Friday?
Did they say I haven't heard. Did they say what day they're coming out yet?
I know the defense expire. The defense stuff expires the 14th.
Okay, so
which I believe is Friday. So I'm assuming that the new stuff would come out either Friday or Saturday, one of the two.
Right.
So when all those new players come out, and it's, according to Madden Mobile, I think it was like Aaron Rodgers is going to be in there. So your quarterback's value are going to drop. That Tom Brady is going to drop in value.
Right.
A little bit, It seems like for defense, there was every single position except for defensive tackle for elites. So you're pretty much guaranteeing maybe every position on offense except for fullback probably is going to get an elite card.
Yeah.
So everything is going to drop in value a little bit. Let's see. Promos. I think we've talked a lot about the promos, but are there any good promos that you sort of make sure that you're on at a certain time to hit some promos?
Like I said, the biggest thing for me has always been Team of the Week and Football Outsiders.
Okay.
It's just because those are the days when people are really ripping the most packs. Some of these other ones, you'll get the random people opening packs throughout the course of the day just because they're bored or whatever. But I'm lucky enough to not to start my workday until after content drop, except on Monday, which I'm off. But
okay,
the key thing is just being on at content drop. Because I said, even if you're not doing that program, just beyond to go after silver cards and gold cards and whatever, because people are just like you said, people are just pulling quick selling. Some of them are just 150 in bronze cards because it's a bronze card, so who cares? But the key to being that on at that point is just be on when the most people are on. Yes, you've got more people sniping the auction house too, but there'll be some level of competition, but you should at least come on top of a couple snipes or flips.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you know how well Football Outsider cards keep their value after they're out of packs at all?
That I don't know, because it's all changed now. Once again, this year they added the Football Outsider set.
Yeah.
Last year they were just the cards, and we bitched about it last year too, because so much for those 82 or 83 overall gold Football Outsiders, I can't do anything with it.
Right.
Because eventually it gets to a point, right now, most of these cards that are coming out for the sets for Jason Kelsey or Matt Stafford, they're usable cards on your starting lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Eventually, that type of card, though, will no longer have a viable second string or third string role on your team.
Right.
So, as far as them holding value, I don't know. Like I said, I thought that Team of the Week would be a good spot to go with, but since these Team of the Week packs include a star from a previous week, that equals problematic issues.
Right. And that makes sense. I liked last year where Team of the Weeks sort of gained value after they were out of packs, and I definitely see how that's hugely affected this year. So another thing I want to talk about was bronze, silver, gold players at the Team Hero sets. I know there's been a lot of fluctuation with, going from the first month to the second month, especially when they had that color rush in there that pretty much screwed up a lot of people had all these golds saved up ready for Team Heroes, and they're like, oh, color rush, I got to get my favorite team's jersey, and they would go throw all their golds into that jersey set. Is there any stable advice that you can give for those?
My best thing right now, and this should be for everybody, and I normally don't do this. I mean, we've talked about this before, but it's common sense though. So I'm not really releasing any trade secrets. These Team Heroes that you can add to milestone collections, if you look at the price per bronze or price per silver, it all varies on what, I don't know. Somebody set the market, and the market's been set that way, I guess you can say. But, the Eagles, they are reasonably priced because you can put Jordan Matthews into the set and get the double chem and actually sell him for coins. Which is easy coins, because if you snipe it out, it's not going to cost you, I think Jordan Matthews sells for around 50 or 80K. I don't know what the price is on him right now. I haven't even looked at him. Let's say 70K, though. But there's no way it costs you 70K to buy the golds, silvers, and bronzes if you do it the right way.
Right.
So say it costs you 40, that's 30K guaranteed profit. But
and all you have to do is play a couple solos.
Yeah, and that's it, and you're done. That's all it is. But as far as the rest of them go, the Cardinals, they've still kept They're not at the 4K they were. Um, the biggest thing for me, and this sounds kind of crazy, is I'll go to my binder and then I'll go back to the auction house and I'll look at the teams and how many silvers or bronzes are up. More so bronzes. Silvers always seem to be on the market for every team, even the quote unquote rare teams.
Mm-hmm.
But the bronzes, like the Lions the other night, were down to like 4 that had buy it nows. So I threw ones I got for like 2,000 coins, 1,500 coins. I threw them up for 4,800 and they sold.
Oh, wow.
Because they were not, like, it's supply and demand. And
Right.
people always ask me about price setting. I'm not a big firm believer on setting the price on something because that can burn you.
Oh, yeah.
Majority of MUT players know the price of what a bronze Eagles card or silver, Cardinals card should go for. So it just equals a big risk, and I don't think there's not enough to gain on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. So I just looked up Jordan Matthews' card. He goes for 90. Well, the cheapest up is 95,000.
Okay, so 95K. There's no way it costs you to make that.
Right. And so just shuffling through some bronze. I see one up for 2,000. Trying to find another position rather than just going by the full team. But I mean, 2,000. You're gonna find people putting them up for 500 to 1,000, and that's gonna be a great deal.
Right.
And that's, I mean, you could go ahead and do the set, see if it's better value to do the set or see if it's better value to sell the player and just take your quick coin and not have to worry about doing the solos. So you kind of got a couple options there. Yeah, it seems like 2,000, 2,100 is about the Eagles bronze card price. And what's it? 10 bronze, 10 silver, 10 gold?
Yes.
Silvers are 400 coins.
And gold to be no more than 1,000 on the Eagles, I think.
Yeah. So really the bronze are going to cost you the most. 600 for a Carson Wentz right here probably is a little bit of a cheaper buy than most, but so you can do milestones. We're not going to tell you every team that has the milestones, but you can go, very easy to go look and find out which team hero sets have the milestones. Spend time buying those players and doing the sets, or just sell them.
Yeah, I mean, today, as prior to jumping on with you, I made 62 bids today, not bids, buy it nows. I don't bid on anything, like I said. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Eagles out of the 62 under 2,000 coins.
There you
go. Some of them 100 and 200 coins. So, I mean, and people I don't want to say dog, but I get busted up about, all you do is play the auction house. But yet people spend the same, I only do it a couple hours in the morning. People spend the same amount of time playing solos. Mm-hmm. And my ROI...
And you're probably making a lot more coins than a lot of people playing solos.
Yes, sir. Like, obviously I don't get the advantage of getting the packs at the time, but, coin-wise, I'm way ahead of the game.
Right, for sure. And packs are very risky anyways, so I could spend 2 hours doing these and have these awesome packs and get nothing out of it. Whereas you're probably most likely, there's probably not a lot of times where you spend 2 hours, working the auction house and you're like, man, I didn't get anything.
No, it's very rare.
You're gonna have a good amount of gain each time. So definitely some good ways to make a little bit of coin. And I say a little bit of coin, I mean, you made a lot of coin.
Yeah.
Just working the auction house. And so I do think a lot of this is a very overview. We're not giving anybody like a direct, go buy this card. You guys have to, work a little bit on your own and find out which cards are going to be up for cheap and what cards you're going to be able to sell, how often or how quickly do you usually sell a card? If you buy, a bronze Eagles for 150 coins, are you gonna put it right on the auction block then and there?
Oh yeah. Usually I do. I put
Okay.
it depends. It also depends though, because like just now I was looking at some Cardinals, and for some reason like there's a ridiculous amount of Cardinals up, and I just bought a couple at 1,500 coins. Well, the ceiling right now is 21 or 22.
Mm-hmm.
If where I know the way I've been monitoring that, the high, not the high, but the lately high has been like 26 to 27. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give that a little bit of like time to marinate, as I say,
Mm.
and hang on to those for a little while. The biggest thing
Okay.
though, like the biggest takeaway I hope you guys can get from this is, first of all, you gotta learn the prices of these specific teams or cards you're looking at. Uh, and I know that sounds really stupid, and I'm trying to talk to you guys that aren't as veterans on the auction house as I am and other people are. But if you are trying to take the time to go check something on Muthead, I've already bought it.
Oh.
You know,
Oh.
and there's thousands of people out there just like me. I mean, there's the obvious snipe. Like I think I saw Julio went for PS4. The 93 Julio went for 150 the other day.
Mm.
Obvious. Like, but for the most part, some of these snipes aren't, so black and white, or flips, whatever word you want to put in there.
Mm.
I've got a lot of the, just throwing that out there, the veterans and the signature cards this year, where I've only made like 15 or 20K on them. But somebody gets impatient and throws up Chad Greenway for 17.7. I insta-bought it.
Right.
And I threw it up for 35. Done. Just like that. But also, you got to make sure you're searching by newest first and not buy it now. That's one thing I want people to understand. Because the buy it now price, especially if you're in the elite category, will give you, like, say you're doing elite tight ends, you're going to get, I'm just throwing this out there, Greg Olsen for 35K is the lowest buy it now. But if you're doing newest first and somebody accidentally throws up Muttmaster Gronk for 150, that's an obvious snipe. But if you sort by buy it now, you saw Jason Witten.
Mm-hmm.
Or Greg Olsen, excuse me. So.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. There was one other question that I had that was similar to this. Do you hold any cards? I know you have like John Kuhn that you're holding on to, but are there a ton of cards that you're holding on to, waiting for a certain pack to drop? Like, we talked about how certain packs have less bronze and silver cards, so the bronze and silver cards are going to obviously go up from supply and demand. So, like, are you waiting for a game changer bundle to unload some silver and bronze cards or something like that,
No,
or
but what
is that not
I'm
your
doing,
style?
and I don't know if this is going to actually matter, and I'm taking a risk here, I guess, but I'm not really. These silver cards, these team sets that go for like 300, 400 coins, I'm not adding those to the badge sets right now because the badge pull rate is freaking horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So these ones that are like 300, 400 coins, and somebody's selling them for 300, 400 coins. I'm holding on them in the hopes that we'll say next month's Team Hero or the month after Team Hero is somebody worth having. So if you've got, like, I think the Rams bronzes, I mean, I know the Rams silvers are expensive, but like a Rams bronze on the regular, they're out for like 150 for 50 minutes before somebody buys them. At that price, I'll hang on to the ones I have
Mm-hmm.
and see if down the road a new Team Hero comes out that jumps that price around. Because we're still seeing that a little bit. Like last month, Panthers were cheap. There's a couple other teams that were cheaper. But now with this month's Team Heroes, their prices have been driven up. I'll accept the silver players that got added from the BCA set. That screwed a lot of
Right.
prices up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay, cool. And so from what it looks like, those, especially like, take an example for the Eagles. When that silver, I think it's Bo Allen, was added for the BCA promo, is that one of the reasons why bronze cards spiked up a little bit,
I think
or was it just the milestone?
yeah, well, I think a little bit of both. Like it unstabilized the silver market to the point where silvers are super cheap.
Right.
But it now makes the bronze cards more important.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I think that in what's what I'm looking for. That's where I think they really had the biggest impact. Was not
Right.
as much the sets per se, but now where the silver cards, I forget, I think the Eagles were like 1,500 to 1,800 coins.
Mm-hmm.
Now the silvers are like 700 coins. Well, now there's got to be a trade off somewhere.
Right.
So that's what I think.
Okay, cool. And that's sort of what the last topic I had was just the new card additions. And so I know you talked about Terrence Newman was one of the big ones for BCA. Do you want to explain that just a little bit for people who
Yeah,
don't
I
understand?
mean, last month and prior to BCA, like the Vikings cards, I was being able to buy them at like 450, 500 for the silvers, that is. And now with Terrence Newman out, these team hero sets only call for a silver player from that team. It does not specifically call for a base silver. So, like guys like Terrence Newman, there's some Allen guy for the Eagles. Forget his name.
Bo Allen.
Bo Allen, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Those cards went from 1,500, 1,800 coins to, well, Terrence Newman's only priced for 650. So why are you going to sell Marcus Sherrills for 1,500 coins? You're not. It's all going to, the bottom drops out, as they say. And now we have these BCA cards. And I'm worried about that. Like I said, you talked before we started recording. With offense coming out now, are they going to put out a Rams BCA card or a Cardinals BCA card?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to negatively affect the capabilities of us to snipe some of these and make some coins on them.
So should I start panic selling some of the Rams and the Cardinals just in case?
I mean, I'm saying if you've got them, you should move them.
All right. I'm gonna work on moving all my silvers.
I mean, just because it's like you said. I mean, I haven't got to look at the BCA list, but there's too much uncertainty with added cards.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows who they'll throw in there, and then if it does come out that there's I'm throwing names out there, John Brown silver card, that could hurt. It'll hurt a lot. Like I said, we went from 1,800 coins down to 750. That's a big dip.
Right. Well, and then that also opens up the door for possibly those bronze cards to spike up in value. So that's something to keep in mind as well, guys. If you have those silvers, sell them now. And if you have the bronze, maybe hold on to them until after the BCA offensive sets do come out. Just in case. You could see another Eagles, Miles or Eagles silvers or bronze cards happen. And also, are they adding Milestones Sundays?
Yes.
Okay, because I know there was a whole new batch of Milestones added, so I know a lot of cards that go into those Team Hero sets might go up in value. So that's something I don't know for sure, but I got to take a look at. So. All right. Well, I think that is everything that I had. If there's any, last minute things you want to add in.
Nope, I'm good.
Nope. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for sticking around. This was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but I think we got a lot of good information in here. Definitely some very useful stuff. I'm going to go, hop on the auction house. I'm going to start making some coins. I'm done. I'm quitting playing solos. No more solos for me. I'm going to grind the auction house. And hopefully I make some coins. But see, I think with you, you're very consistent with it. And that's one thing you can't, I mean, in one of your videos, you talked about, you haven't been on the auction house over the weekend. So you have to go spend some time on it just to understand where card values are.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Things change so much so quickly on this auction house. So you kind of have to make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think one more thing I want to add for everybody that is going to try to do this. There's no right way or wrong way. Don't let somebody tell you there is and there's not. But my biggest piece of advice is I hit a lot of singles. I'm a baseball guy kind of, but I hit a lot of singles. I don't hit a home run every time I open the auction house. And I think that's the misconception a lot of people have of it. Like, they want to make coins like that, I'm not hitting a Julio Jones for 150. I'm
Right.
buying, like I said, 62 bronze and silver players and making like 1,000 to 2,000 coins a piece on them.
Right.
So,
well, and that's the thing. Like the odds of someone seeing the Julio Jones for 150 is already crazy. Like you're a lucky person if you saw it up on the auction house.
right.
But the fact that not only did you have to see it, but you also had to buy it before all the other lucky people that just saw it. So I like the method of hitting the singles and getting the small consistent amount, and it works. I mean, you're proof of it working. So definitely some cool stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little. I guess it's almost like a podcast because I don't have anything to show on the screen. Maybe I'll get some gameplay or something to throw up there, but we'll see. If you guys did enjoy, all this information, definitely go check out the podcast, MUT Snipes All Day, link in the description. And then also the auction house guide on Reddit, link for that is in the description as well. Maybe I'll have like a timestamp. If I feel like working, I'll put timestamps in there, but we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.